Hey everybody, Sean here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Behind Closed Doors going for two achievements. We are going for Greedy and Exterminator. Both of these are going to be done in the cave segment of the game. This is going to be the side-scrolling bit. So to get both of these achievements, there's going to be two additional things you need to do other than just tough it out through to the end. As you can see, there's going to be a counter in the upper right, and there's going to be one for bats, and there's going to be one for coins. You're going to need to kill 70 bats and pick up 50 coins in order to get both achievements. Thankfully, there's going to be way more than enough of both. So obviously the bats are going to be the main enemy, and then coins are going to be the main collectible. So you're going to navigate your way around this cave. Make sure you kill all of the bats. Bats are going to take 3 shots to kill, and coins are going to be sprinkled around all over the place. I'm going to recommend you take things nice and slow and steady so you can try to kill every single bat you see and pick up every coin that you can possibly get, because personally I like going for the achievements and getting them out of the way as soon as possible, but there is going to be way more than enough. So if you do have to skip a bat or coin for whatever reason, there should be more than enough to cover the spread. You are probably looking at about 100 bats and 150 coins, so that's going to be the amount of margin of error you can make if you do plan on skipping any. So just make sure you take your time and then proceed through the dungeon. It's going to be pretty linear for the most part. There are going to be detours along the way, and usually these detours are going to lead to a huge cache of coins. So for example, this first one, you want to make sure you take the upper right path, and then you can grab a bunch of coins along the way right here. Thankfully, coins are going to be the amount you need the least of, so you should be able to get the coins achievement way sooner than the bats. So try to be a little more thorough on your bat hunting than your coin collecting, and you should be good for both achievements. Now, as for dying, you are going to have 3 hearts to work with, so you do have 3 hits that you can take. You are going to die right away if you do land in these spikes, however. That being said, if you do end up dying, you're going to respawn. Thankfully, there are going to be checkpoints along the way. Now, do keep in mind, coins and bats are not going to respawn, so that's going to be a good thing and a bad thing. It's going to be a good thing in that you do not have to reobtain anything. And it's only going to be a bad thing in the sense where you cannot find a spot in the game where you can just keep dying and respawning, reobtaining the same things over and over to make the achievement way easier. So you are going to have to be pretty thorough on what you grab, but make sure you just take your time and get through the dungeon as nice and easy as possible. And then once it's over, you should be good for the achievement. The whole dungeon is going to take about 10 minutes or so, so it is going to be quite a slog, and it is going to end in a boss fight, so make sure you are prepared for that once you step through that finish line portal. Do remember your shots are able to pass through the environment, so if you find any spots where you can shortcut things, make sure you try to take out the bats from behind the environment, and that's going to save you a little bit of time later, and it should make some of the upcoming segments easier as you are able to take them out before you have to deal with them. And again, they are going to stay dead, so don't worry about any of the bats respawning or anything. Now, once you get about halfway through the caves, you are going to get to the boring part where you're going to have to deal with the moving platforms and the elevators. So you have a lot of long elevator rides that you have to sit through, or elevators that you have to wait on. Be super patient on these parts. It's very easy to get bored here. Just make sure you are keeping up on your bat hunting and your coin collecting, though, because those achievements are going to be some that you definitely do not want to redo if you do end up missing them. So once you get to this rather annoying elevator ride, you're going to want to ride this thing to the top. There's going to be another cache of coins, but you are going to have to jump off to the upper left in order to grab them. Make sure you do so, as we are going to still be in need of coins this early on in the level. So make sure you jump up here. Now, once you grab all the coins, hopefully you can jump over the gap a-okay, because waiting on this elevator ride really sucks. So hopefully you can either make it, or you can jump onto the elevator when it's at its apex and then make the jump across. But if you do miss, you are going to have to end up riding this thing again, so be a little patient on this one. That pretty much should cover the basics, so just make sure you stay on track and keep progressing through the caves. That being said, we still are going to point out any other useful detours with big coin caches along the way, so try your best to keep up on killing those bats and getting those easy coins. But if you need any additional help, do feel free to pay attention for these little branching paths. So once you get to this set of elevator rides, you probably have noticed a pretty big drought in coins recently. So to remedy that, you are going to want to jump to the left right here. There's going to be 3 right here to end that small drought. There is going to be another pretty major coin drought coming up, so make sure you try not to worry. Again, you are going to have a huger surplus of extra coins than you are extra bats, so try to keep your focus on killing bats and being thorough with that, as you are able to definitely get the coin achievement earlier thanks to these big caches that you're going to find along the way. So there should be a huge cache of coins at the top of this staircase that's going to be impossible to miss. Make sure you do stop and then grab every single one of them. If you have been diligent so far, you should hit your 50 right here and be good for the achievement. And thankfully, once you get the achievement, you do not have to worry about picking up another single coin. So this achievement is going to be for 40 gamer score. Once we have it, we can just strictly focus on getting the bats. If you still don't have it, don't worry. There are still going to be way more coins later on in the caves. So just make sure you be patient and be vigilant for any more caches. We are going to point out another couple along the way. So there's going to be another one right here at the top of this set of elevator rides. So hopefully this puts you over the top, but there's going to be even more after this. So once you get to the end of this corridor, you're going to have this small staircase right here, and you're going to notice an elevator going down. If you take this elevator all the way down to the bottom, there's going to be an enormous cache of coins down there. So you are definitely going to want to try to go for the achievement right here, as this is going to be a very good spot to get it. But again, if you already have it, feel free to save yourself a little bit of time and just skip it by heading straight across, and then continue to push forward and continue your hunt of those bats. So if you've been staying diligent, you should be able to hit your 70 bats right around the top of this elevator ride or so. The dungeon's also almost coming to an end, so make sure you are prepared for that. Nonetheless, once you do get your 70 bats, you should be good for this achievement. There it is, 40 gamer score. That should wrap it up. Make sure you wrap up the dungeon and defeat that boss, and we'll be back for the next part. But that's going to be it for now, and that's all there is to it.